Are we ready, Becky?
We're ready.
Okay. It's 6 o'clock on October 20th at 26. I'd like to call the meeting of the Assembly to order, please. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Lynn?
Here.
Member Martin?
Here.
Member Schwartz?
Here.
Member Mtg?
Here.
Member Stanton Gregor?
Here.
Member Valentine?
Here. With that, we have 6 people here. We have 1 empty seat that is advertised. And with that, next part here is oath of office. We have 2 new people to take the oath of office tonight, and I believe that the clerk would like to do one at a time.
Yes, thank you. Jeff, Member Mtg, would you please come to the podium? Please raise your right hand. Do you, Jeff Mtg, solemnly affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Alaska and the ordinances of the Petersburg Borough, and that you will honestly, faithfully, and impartially perform the duties of Assembly Member for the Petersburg Borough, Alaska, to the best of your ability? Yes. Thank you. Sign. Thank you. And then Bob, would you come to the podium next? And raise your right hand. Do you, Bob Martin, solemnly affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Alaska and the ordinances of the Petersburg Borough, and that you will honestly, faithfully, and impartially perform the duties of Assembly Member for the Petersburg Borough of Alaska to the best of your ability? Thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a few new members are sworn in now, and with that, I would like to spend a few minutes in recognition of Mayor Jensen's service. And if he would come forward up there with me, I'll do it from the podium.
Yeah, it's changed up. Yeah.
I want to talk just for a minute about, oh my gosh, Mark goes all the way back to 2007. So he was on the council. He was mayor pro tem in 2008 and 9, and then council elected to mayor in 2012, and then mayor from 2013 with a little bit of a glitch in there of resignation on 2017, but till 2025. I didn't go back and look, Mark, but I think that's probably got, even going back to the early history, I think you've got the record.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that stuff
Yeah, yeah, I didn't go do it, but it's definitely up there. And with that, I've got a couple other things here. I went back, looked, Mark, at the amount of time that, and I'd say yourself and the Assembly members, you know, you made a lot of money doing this. I figured, I honestly, I went back and I figured out, oh my gosh, how much time I made an estimate amount of time. I figured you made somewhere between 18 and 20 cents an hour doing this job. So, at any rate, oh my gosh, so the Assembly members, you know, you're making a lot of money doing this. And with that, I also went through and I've got a list of the projects that were really done during Mark's tenure, and I'd have to say the assemblies. And I was shocked again, from 2003 to 2024, we got 86 different projects in Petersburg from the state, and either in terms of grants, in terms of funding in some sort. And I never counted it up, but it's up in the millions that we've got. So I have to give Mark credit and, you know, the Assembly members and the staff for that, you know, did a lot of work on this to get that. It's, I don't think we'd been as far ahead as we are had it not had everything come together. It was a good time with that. And
from 2007 until 2025, it was over $100 million, but it wasn't. an individual that did it. It was, like you said, the administration and
The staff, yeah.
council. But that's back when there was
M-
money.
Yep.
So.
Yeah,
pretty tough.
it is. It's going to be much tougher, yeah. And he's turning it over to me, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, and now if we're not going to get as much, I'm sure, but we're going to push forward. And with that, then, I'm going to move on a little bit here, is that I have a letter here from Dan Sullivan, Senator Dan Sullivan, to Mark, that I'll read here, is that please accept my congratulations on your retirement and sincere gratitude for your years of dedicated service as the mayor of the borough of Petersburg. Your leadership and commitment to your community has left a lasting mark and has been my privilege to work with you. Again, congratulations on your retirement. Julie and I wish you all the best. Please don't hesitate to reach out if I can ever be of assistance. Signed, Dan. With that, and Mark has done a lot with a number of those folks that I think has really made a difference in terms of context. So if I can continue, I hope I can to do some of the same. And with that, I've got one other thing here I'd like to talk. We have an award here from the Assembly and from the people of Petersburg here for Mark. It is a plaque for Mayor Mark Jensen for his years of service. And I'll show you folks here what it is. It's in honor and dedication to his service. And this is what we are presenting. Well, thank you, Mark. And you can, I'll give you the mic here for a little bit and let you talk. I'll leave a couple
Okay.
of you.
Well, in retrospect, I've probably taken up too much time with people in this room over the 18 years. And there's a lot of good things done, worked with a lot of good people. It was a great experience. If you would have told me I was going to be in this position for the last 18 years, 30 years ago, I would have just, shook my head. But thank the whole community for all their support and good luck as we move forward. So have a great meeting.
Yeah. Never. I'll move on now to the voluntary pledge of allegiance, if we will. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I have two sets of minutes here for two different meetings. I will take one at a time. First of all, we have the regular assembly meetings minutes for October 6th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved. Second.
Okay, there's moved and seconded. All those in favor, or let me ask first of all, is there any changes? Hearing none. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, I'll move to the second one. The Special Assembly Certification Meeting Minutes for October 10th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Are there any changes? Hearing none, I'll take a voice vote again. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Moving forward, are there any amendments or do we approve the agenda as it stands? I need a
Mayor?
motion.
Okay. Yeah,
Joe.
thank you, Mr. Mayor. Under 19A, under Assembly Members' Comments, I'd like to just have a brief conversation about the proposed broadband tower that might be going up in Petersburg, and just wanted to put together a little timeline that I've been thinking about, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. If you'll keep track of that,
Yes, I will.
clerk, if you will, and bring us my attention, if you would, please. Okay. Are there any other amendments or changes you want to make?
I would
Okay.
move to proceed with the agenda as is.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Again, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Moving forward. Tonight, public hearings. We have two public hearings. The first public hearing is on Skylark Park. And any public testimony regarding the conveyance agreement with Skylark Park should be given during this public hearing. A copy of the conveyance agreement may be found under agenda item 17A. Is there anybody in the audience or on Zoom who would like to talk to about Skylark Park? Okay, please come forward, state your name, and you've got 5 minutes.
Thanks. My name is Donald Spurl, representing myself. And I did combine Skylark Park with Mr. Omer's. I just kind of had jotted this down. I'm a lifetime resident of Petersburg. I've been involved with the residential building in Southeast since the mid-90s. I'm speaking today in support of 17A and 17C on the agenda. We've all heard the continual discussion in the last few years of our housing crisis and the difficulty of young families and incoming families, all sorts of people looking for places to live, and we all have had those conversations. I still hear the discussion continuing, but I'm not really hearing any solutions, and I realize it's complicated, but on average, I have probably 2 conversations per week with different folks asking about either what property is available around or some sort of affordable roof that could go over their head. Mr. Omer has shown already that he can provide simple, practical, and affordable housing for families. So in my opinion, a few more would be very beneficial. The Burrells, with their Skylark Park entity and their vision for this property, is exactly the kind of land opportunities that our young locals need and other families moving here that are looking for reasonably priced housing. And obviously there are many, many details to both of these proposals, but the bottom line is that they will directly impact housing here in a good way and will help provide solutions to this housing crisis. Please approve 17A and 17C and move these forward as quick as possible. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to talk to on this?
I do have someone on Zoom.
Okay,
And Mary, I'm going to unmute you right now.
okay. Mary, you have the floor.
Okay, I'm commenting on the application for Dave Omer. I should say good evening. My name is Mary Clemens, and I'm representing myself. I'm commenting on Dave Omer's application to purchase borough-owned lots 5 and 6, Block 78 Southeast Edition. I live on Fram Street, 2 blocks away, so I'm very familiar with this neighborhood. When I first got the letter from the borough about the application, my heart sank for Diane and Otis Marsh. Their house on Joa Street is right behind the 2 lots on Hagen being proposed for sale. The Marshes have been very adversely impacted by the new hospital construction, the new work building, and especially the new parking lot. This has been ongoing for over a year. The Marshes used to have 2 sides of their property undeveloped. Now they just have 1 undeveloped, and this proposal would take away that last undeveloped side. I know it's reasonable to think that in Petersburg, there could be more development in any neighborhood here. We've seen it all, especially since we need more housing. But in this case, it seems that there would be an extreme impact on 1 residence in a short amount of time. I do support efforts to increase more housing in town, but I don't believe this is the right time to develop these lots. When I testified before the Planning and Zoning meeting on July 8th and essentially stated these same concerns, I was disappointed and frustrated that the very brief discussion they had did not even acknowledge that there would be any negative impacts to anyone. They only discussed the need for more housing, which again, I do agree with. When I testified before the Assembly in July, I did appreciate the time they took for discussion on this matter. Of course, they noted the need for more housing in Petersburg, and which again, I do agree with, but also they did recognize that this may not be the ideal time or place to sell city lots. And just a side note, there is an existing duplex currently for sale, less than 200 feet away from these two lots, across 8th Street on Hagen. So just a point of interest. Again, I'm not saying that these lots should never be developed, just not now. The Marsh family has endured enough impact for now. I ask you to not approve Dave Omer's application to sell these city borough lots. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Is there anybody else that would like to talk to either the Skylark Park or Dave Armour's application? Please come forward and state your name and who you represent.
My name is Chris Marsh and I'm representing myself. I'm torn between money and duty. With this sale behind my parents' house, it will inevitably increase the value of their home because that area will be developed. If you don't know, my father just recently passed away. It's only a matter of time before my mother passes away, which means an inheritance for me and my family that will directly help my pocketbook because of the value of that home going up. I don't need the money. It's not going to help me. It's not going to change my life at all. Now I move on to duty. I'm a member of the volunteer fire department because I feel it's my duty to help people in this community. I came here in 1979, went through school, graduated from high school, and I came back to help my parents because it was the right thing to do because of their age. And there is a real need for volunteers with the fire department. But the sale of this property and the development of 2 duplexes with the express hope of having 4 families with children in there is dangerous. And it's my duty to say it is dangerous. You want to put a house there? Go ahead. You want to put a business there? Go right ahead. 2 duplexes with families and children, there will be an accident at some point in time. That particular road, Hagen, there on 8th, is very busy, and it's only going to get busier. We all know where developments are going in, where properties being improved. It's only going to get busier. If it gets busier and we have 4 families in there, someone will get hurt. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Is there anybody else that would like to talk to the public hearings on either Skylark or Dave Armour's land application? Okay. Hearing none, I'll move on then. Next item on the agenda is bid awards. We have one bid award on the agenda tonight. It's for Scal Bay 11 kV switchgear bid. Utility Director Hegerman requests approval to award the Scal Bay 11 kV switchgear to General Pacific for the price of $195,595. A memo from Director Hagerman with the bidder information for the October 9, 2025 bid opening is attached to this packet. Can I have a motion to approve that award?
So move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. With that, I'll ask Director Hagerman to give us a little background on what this switchgear does for us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this switchgear is part of the Scal Bay generator number 2 project. We've been slowly amassing equipment for this project to hopefully avoid contractor markups if we were to buy this through construction contract. And so this is, excuse me, I believe the last major piece of equipment that we put out to bid, recommending to award to General Pacific out of Anchorage, Alaska. And this gear is actually attached to the generator itself. It will allow us to put the generator online and also has protective relays that help to protect the generator in the case of a fault on the line. So it's vital to the project and would appreciate the Assembly support.
Thank you. Any questions for Director Hagerman? Okay. Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Member Stanton Gregor?
Yes.
Member Martin? Member Valentine?
Yes.
Member Schwartz?
Yes.
Member Mutchy?
Yes.
Mayor Lynn?
Yes. With that, that passes 6-0 to approve the Scala 11 kV switchgear bid. I'll move on from there. Persons, is there anybody, persons related, heard related to the agenda? Is there anybody that would like to talk to items related to the agenda? Okay. Seeing none, is there anybody on Zoom?
There's no one.
Okay, thank you. I'll move on. Persons to be heard on related to the agenda. Is there anybody that would like to talk to items that are unrelated to tonight's agenda? Yeah, okay. Would you please come forward, state your name and who you represent, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Micah Klein. I live at number 3 Libby Lane. I represent myself. I wanted to talk about the Tidal Network towers, broadband towers that are going up. They came and spoke at an assembly meeting a couple weeks ago at the noon meeting, and I think that took a lot of people by surprise. People were really unaware that was even happening, let alone that they were going to be in a meeting for people to ask questions to. So I feel like that's a missed opportunity for the community, because that meeting where they were there actually enlightened people that there was something really impactful happening across our community in various neighborhoods. So I have just a few concerns. One of their proposed sites is they want to buy borough land by the fire hall to put up another tower. There's already a tower by Hammer and Wecon, and there's a child care facility, a growing neighborhood. And for every person that says there isn't health concerns, there's studies that say there are. And I just feel that that's not a really good location in the event that if there even were concerns. When you have childcare, you have over 100 people that work within a quarter mile of that. You have a neighborhood. And other things is they want to put them in places like Papke's Landing and stuff like that. And it's kind of, to me, it ruins the aesthetics of neighborhoods. People live out the road because they want to be a little bit disconnected from town. And another part of thinking about these towers that are just going up, and they're being pretty secretive about it. I had a very at length discussion with Mr. Cropley, the project manager for that, at the last PIA board meeting. And he didn't give very factual or direct answers to any questions that were asked. It turned into a really unprofessional argument. So it would be nice that now that the community is aware that some of this is happening, we could have direct questions and ask for specific answers, and maybe have some community input and maybe work with them. So I wanted to ask if we could maybe invite Tidal Network to come to a 6 p.m. meeting where more people can attend and know that it is happening. And prior to that, maybe have like a work session so we can all put our heads together and state what our questions and our concerns and maybe some of our compromises or workarounds for these concerns. And because this is a really impactful thing. Once these towers go up, from what I understand of the federal law, you can't get them down, and then they can add there's less restriction of what goes on them. So if you go to 5G or other companies come in and want to put their fixtures on them, you just add more and more stuff, and there's less regulation once the tower is up. They want to put a 150-foot tower up. So we have tourists that are coming to town that want to go to Falls Creek or go to these lodges down the Narrows or even go to Blind River Rapids, and they're going to be trying to enjoy Petersburg and all its grandeur and looking at cell towers. When out there is already some spotty cell service, and all the residents and businesses have Starlink, GCI, whatever is available out there. I mean, I don't hear of anybody complaining like, oh, I don't have internet. So some of the things that he said was to bring connectivity to underserved areas. Well, it's not underserved. There's lots of options. And I just think that before this goes up, Petersburg needs to have a little bit of forethought to the impacts of like our tourism industry, our neighborhoods and people. So I'm just asking that we can maybe put together a work session here in the very near future, and then maybe invite Title Network to come again at a 6 PM meeting where more people have awareness and better questions and have thought this out. And we have some direction to go with this, so we can ask some questions and maybe work with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to talk to items unrelated?
Thank you. I'm Judy Omer, speaking for myself. Mike and I have been working kind of in tandem and also with Jackie Tyson. So we were all so surprised about the tower situation that is going up. The whole thing about EMFs and radiation and things is not new to me. I was working with it in Albuquerque at the Holistic Kinesiology Institute where I was teaching. But it was a total surprise to come here and find out that one house for me, 150-foot tower was going to go up. And the science on it is growing. A lot of the FCC, well, the FCC regulations on it or guidelines are based on 1996. And back then, people didn't even have cell phones, really. An iPhone didn't come out until 2007. So I think there's reason to take time in this decision. Now, Tlingit Haida created the Title Network to manage the $50 million grant that they got from the federal government in 2022. And they're in a rush to get these towers up. And they are selling them as broadband towers, and that may be true, but that's just the first step in the process, because that's when they can subcontract or lease space to the other telecommunications communities or businesses, and we don't really know what we're dealing with. At the PIA meeting, he went from, it was a broadband in the first talk of it, and then now he's saying it's 5G, and then it'll be like 6G, and then it'll be, we don't know what we need protection from, but there's a growing body of research on the dangers of that. And starting to mark off how far away you need to be from things to not be as affected by it, because there's some serious consequences. If you talk to some of the moose hunters in town, they'll even tell you that the moose stay away from where there's towers. So anyway, I put together kind of a synopsis of where we think we are now with it, some of what Micah covered, some what we've researched and everything. And I put it together in a handout that I can leave with each of you if that's okay. Our title is getting, am I still on time?
You're good. You're okay.
Okay. They're getting opposition from a lot of communities, and I made a little bit of a note there about who's doing what. Some of the ones that have been effective, it seems, Sitka has contracted with Children's Health Defense, which is dealing with this issue nationwide. Mike and I were also on a Zoom call with those lawyers, finding out how do you best go about this. And they said, the towers are coming. The best you can do is get the ordinances in place and the local support for putting them where they're least harmful. And so it's my encouragement, like Micah's was, and I think Member Mtg's is to get some kind of work session together and get hopefully ordinance language together that protects the more townside area as well as those where people live. Haynes just passed unanimously an ordinance that we may want to be able to take off from or use as a jumping off spot of what works better for Petersburg, but all that is listed. In addition to talking with the children's defense lawyers, we put up a Facebook page called Alaska for Safe Tech, and there's a lot of information just dropped in there. You'll see it's not yet a lot of community-wide chatter about it. We're more talking amongst ourselves, but dropping information in so it's available. I talked with Suzanne Downing, who's kind of a voice for Alaska in things that affect our entire state. And she's an investigative journalist and will look to do a story. I've contacted Alaska Doge because $50 million is a lot of money, especially since This money was dedicated to unserved areas, and I don't know if Petersburg qualifies as unserved. I suppose you can always have more power going on, but there's a statement of concern being circulated now in Petersburg, collecting signatures from people who at least have a concern about this and want to know more before towers are placed in town. And there's not yet a lot of widespread notice about those. We've just put them out in the last couple of days, but are collecting signatures readily. And then just hope to engage more with you all who will be making some of the decisions and hopefully be able to protect us in the areas that we live and near the childcare centers, assisted living facilities, and our schools. And just hopes and prayers. So should I pass these out now or pass them over here?
Would you give them to the clerk? We
Yes.
can also include it in the record for this meeting. Then also she will make sure each of the members have one.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to talk to items unrelated to the agenda? Please come forward and state your name and who you represent.
My name is Jackie Tyson. I represent myself and all the people that are going to be getting 5G cell towers in their neighborhood. I happen to live, when I heard about this, I opened up my Facebook page and there it was. I called Chris Cropley and talked to him at length. One of the things that I find of great concern is that my house is only 200 feet from where the tower is going to be. John Baird's is only 50 feet from the tower. And everything that I read, there should be 1/4 mile distance between a cell tower like that in residential areas. So when you take that, like I walked down Papke's Landing Road, I looked at our plat, I saw how far that was. It was all the way to the cove of the distance. I hate the idea that people are going to get really sick from this because there's all sorts of evidence of things that happen to people when they're exposed to this. And it's just too close for comfort. So what I'm hoping is that the borough will work on some sort of legalese type of thing that says that wherever you place these, they cannot be closer than 1/4 mile to a residence, to a school, to anything like that. And then I have this other handout I'll hand to them about Hawaii County passes laws keeping cell towers away from homes and schools.
Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate it. Is there anybody else who would like to talk to items unrelated to the agenda? Okay, is there anybody on Zoom?
There's no one.
Okay, thank you. With that, I'll move on. There are no board, committee, and commission reports tonight. There's nothing on the consent agenda, nothing on report of other officers. And with that, we'll go to the mayor's report as soon as I find it, that is. First one item I really want to talk about is recognition for all our election workers. Thank you to all the dedicated individuals who helped make Election Day a success. Your commitment to ensure a fair, transparent, and smooth voting process is deeply appreciated. Petersburg is fortunate to have engaged and hardworking citizens and volunteers like you. And with that, I'd say is that I also think that their dedication and their idea of wanting to make this as smooth and clean as possible, I think they deserve recognition. And also, I'd like to talk about recognition of outgoing Assembly and Advisory Board members. As we conclude another election cycle, I'd like to thank the outgoing members of the Petersburg Assembly and our advisory boards. Their dedication and service has made a lasting impact on our community, and we are thankful for your contributions to Petersburg. And as I said, if anybody thinks these people made a lot of money, no, it didn't happen. Seeking letters of interest. Petersburg Borough is accepting letters of interest from citizens who wish to serve the community by filling one of the vacant seats on the following borough boards until the October 20th, 2026 municipal election. We have an assembly, we have 1 vacant seat. Harbor and Ports Advisory Board, we have 1 vacant seat. Planning Commission, 1 vacant seat. Public Service Advisory Board, 1 vacant seat. School Board, 1 vacant seat. Letters of interest should be submitted to the clerk at the borough office located at 12 South Nordic Drive by sending to P.O. Box 329, Petersburg, Alaska, 99833, or by emailing to bregula@petersburgak.gov. Last item I have here is, the governor has come forward, First Responders Appreciation Day. Governor Mike Dunleavy has proclaimed October 28th, 2025 as a day to recognize the important part of Alaska's first responders play in ensuring the safety of our homes and communities. I encourage all residents of Petersburg to join in recognizing and thanking these individuals, whether through a note of appreciation or a kind word for the dedication and courage of those who serve. The governor's proclamation is attached to this report. And as was talked about earlier, we very much appreciate all the volunteerism and of all our dedicated individuals that serve. And with that, the manager is sick tonight, and so what I'll do is the manager report is in the record. I'm going to pass over it and move on to the next item on the agenda. We have a couple items. We have no items of unfinished business. We are under new business. We have a number of items. The first item is resolution number 2025-20, a resolution approving the sale of borough land to Skylark Park LLC for a public benefit purpose. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution?
So moved. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Assembly Member Stanton Gregor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, for those listening at home, a lot of work and laborious effort from borough staff and the boroughs getting us to get us to this point. It's got a ways to go, but this is the next step. I'll definitely be voting yes. I think it's a great project for the community, as has been discussed in many circles. Affordable housing is critical to all aspects of town. People need to be able to afford to move here and work. So I think it's a great project. It's been talked about a lot, but it's a great next step. And that said, though, I would move to amend this agreement language to extend the closing period referred to on page 9, paragraph 11, from 45 days to 60 days. The revised clause would read, if in the Assembly timely adopts the rezoning ordinance, the closing of this transaction shall occur within 60 days of the date of enactment of the ordinance, but no sooner than January 5th, 2026, unless extended by mutual agreement of the parties.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. With that, I'd ask Liz to put together kind of a summary of the chronology of this. And unfortunately, Liz is sick tonight, but I asked Utility Director Hagerman if he would be willing to read that before I call for a vote on it. If you would.
Should we do the amendment first?
Okay, let's, yeah, good point. Let's, all those, I'll ask clerk to call roll on the amendment.
Member Stanton Gregor?
Yes.
Member Martin? Member Schwartz? Member Mtg?
Yes.
Mayor Lynn?
Yes,
Member Valentine?
Yes.
okay, thank you for bringing that to my
No
attention.
problem.
With that, if you would, Mr. Hagerman, I appreciate it.
Sure, Mr. Mayor. Standing in for Liz tonight to read the summary of the proceedings on Skylark Park request. So the initial application that came in requested 3 things. Rezone of lot 14 owned by Skylark from public use to single-family mobile home. Also requested to rezone the borough-owned properties in question to single-family mobile home. And a request to purchase several borough-owned properties. That application was submitted in August of 2023. In September of 2023, the Planning Commission recommended rezone of government lot 14 as requested by the applicants. In October of 2023, the initial review was undertaken by the Planning Commission. Public hearing on the rezoning of the lots and the purchase of the property occurred. The commission recommended keeping the Odin Street lots as single family and rezoning Government Lot 21 to single family mobile home. The commission also recommended the sale of the property at that time. As part of this, the commission also initiated a rezone of 2 parcels to act as buffers between the new development and the established Severson subdivision. In November of 2023, the Assembly approved the rezone of Lot 14 to single-family mobile home in 3 readings. They approved the sale of borough lots by direct negotiation with the applicants. The assessed values were discussed being too high for this work to proceed, but the point was made the borough cannot sell for less than assessed value. The Assembly initiated development of a new ordinance allowing for sale of borough property for less than assessed value for large residential developments. In February 2024, Assembly approves ordinance in 3 readings to allow sale of property for quote, public benefit purpose, including residential development greater than 5 parcels. In March of 2024, Skylark re-engages following passage of the public benefit ordinance. Then in August of 2024, Skylark resubmits application to purchase lots for public benefit purpose. In October of 2024, Assembly gave the initial approval for the application for public benefit. November of 2024, the Planning Commission undertook a public hearing and recommended to the borough manager to proceed. The borough at that time in November obtained a market appraisal for the lots in question. In December of 2024, Assembly approved the sale for public benefit purpose and directed the manager to negotiate the terms. In the time period of January through April of 2025, negotiations ensued. From July to September of 2025, final terms were agreed upon and rewritten into a sales agreement. Resolution and rezone ordinances were drafted and the title report was obtained. In all this time, the Planning Commission had held 5 hearings on this topic, and the issue was discussed at 10 Assembly meetings and will be 13 Assembly meetings with the final rezone of this properties.
Thank you. Any more discussion from the Assembly? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the amended?
Sure. Member Mutchie,
Yes.
Mayor Lynn,
Yes.
Member Schwartz,
Yes.
Member Stanton Greger,
Yes.
Member Valentine,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Passes 6-0. And with that, I'm going to move on to the next resolution, which is Resolution 2020-25-21. A resolution of the Petersburg Borough accepting $78,000 in funding from the Petersburg Indian Association for replacement breakwater at Banana Point. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution?
I'll move.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. With that, I'm going to ask Public Works Director Moreau to give us a little background. There's a lot of money involved here, and the project's been in place for a long time trying to do it. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Petersburg Borough received a $900,000 grant from the Denali Commission for the replacement of the 7 breakwater booms at the Banana Point boat launch. We issued an invitation to bid. On September 26th, we had a sealed bid opening. The minimum bid coming in at $978,000, $78,000 over budget. Following that bid opening, I reached out to Susan Harai at the Petersburg Indian Association and asked if they had any available funds to assist the borough in this project. And the result of that was an offer from the Petersburg Indian Association to provide those funds. And this resolution is to accept those funds from the manager. Funds to be deposited in this project fund 761, Banana Point Breakwater Capital Project Fund.
Thank you. It's, I'm not sure we could have pulled this off even with all the grant we had we not received that $78,000. And so much appreciative of that. And with that, unless there's other, Mayor, or Assembly Member Stan Greger?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just briefly, I wanted to publicly thank PIA once again for being such a good partner on so many different infrastructure projects. You know, many of us use the Sandy Beach, City Creek Trail every day, and the list goes on and on. So once again, just thank you to PIA for being such a great partner on infrastructure projects.
Thank you, Assembly Member Mtg.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Has the final design for this breakwater, is it all approved and moving forward?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, with that, would the clerk please call the roll?
Member Valentine,
Yes.
Member Mutchy,
Yes.
Mayor Lynn,
Yes.
Member Stanton Greger,
Yes.
Member Martin, Member Schwartz.
Yes.
Thank you. And that passes 6-0. The next item I have on the agenda is the Dave Omar land application. Dave Omar previously submitted an application to purchase borough-owned Lot 5 and 6, Block 78, Southeast Edition. The Planning Commission held a public hearing regarding the application to purchase on July 8th, 2025, and recommended Borough Assembly approve the sale of the subject properties. The Planning Commission's report is attached to this packet. On July 21st, 2025, the Assembly considered the application but not approved the sale of the lots. Since that date, Mr. Omar remains interested in purchasing the lots, and Assembly Member Stanton Greger asked that the application be placed back on the agenda for renewed consideration by the Assembly. Borough Code Section 16.12.080E states that the Assembly shall determine whether an application shall move forward in the application process or be denied. If the application is to move forward, the Assembly shall schedule a public sale and exempt the application from public sale. If the application is exempted from public sale, the Assembly may authorize the borough manager to negotiate the sale with the applicant, the final terms of which are subject to approval by the Assembly. And with that, do I have a motion to approve the land application?
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we exempt this from public sale and authorize the borough manager to negotiate directly with the applicant, Dave Omer, the final terms of which will be subject to approval by the Assembly.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded by Assembly Member Mtg. With that, discussion. Again,
Thank you, since I made the motion, and it is on there that I had requested this be put back on. Just a data point for those listening at home. I believe we had 5 members of the Assembly here, or 4. I don't recall which, doesn't matter. And July, I thought that would have been more prudent for a full Assembly, but it went the way it went, that's fine. As Mr. Omer stated that day, I wasn't here, I was zooming in. He does have a solid track record of providing rentals in our community. I think it makes sense. He wants to do this project. We are very, very short on housing, affordable or otherwise in this community. It is reasonably affordable. I think it's the right move if we as the Assembly are serious about trying to help the housing crisis. I think we need to step up and do our part to do that. I do want to also briefly comment, though, to Mary Clemens called in and Chris Marsh spoke. I most certainly empathize with the disturbances people near the hospital have felt. I do not want to discount that. I think no argument for me if that was my friends or family backyard, I would have some heartache about that too, because they are a very lovely family. I've spoken to them several times. But I think it is important for us to get this on the tax rolls and get more housing for our community. So that was my logic in putting this back on there. I'll let the rest of the assembly speak. Thank you.
Member Mutchy?
Mr. Schwartz had his
Oh.
name. have it-
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'd like to echo Jay's words. I've gotten a lot of input from the public on this, and they're two enthusiastic thumbs up as far as getting this done. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Member Mutchy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I want to echo Jay's remarks, but I really hope that when Mr. Omer puts put this duplex in or whatever he puts in, and the hospital, I hope they can become good neighbors to Mrs. Marsh. I've spent some time talking to Mrs. Marsh once or twice, and her backyard is looking at the hospital parking lot. And I'm hoping that the hospital could be a good neighbor in putting some type of view break up there, just as a sign of being a good neighbor, as well as Mr. Omer when he puts his piece in, just to kind of be a good neighbor. And they have a choice not to be a good neighbor, but I think it'd go a long ways if they were moving forward to be a good neighbor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other thoughts from assembly members? You know, my only thought is that I agree with Mr. Marsh from the standpoint of access on, onto the highway. I think that can be worked out. But I do have that concern in the negotiations. I'm sure that's going to be discussed between the manager and Mr. Omar. And with that, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Member Schwartz,
Yes.
Member Mutchy,
Yes.
Mayor Lynn,
Yes.
Member Stanton Greger,
Yes.
Member Martin, Member Valentine.
Yes.
The application is approved 6-0 from the assembly. I'll move on now to the Assistant Public Works Director hire. Manager Griesbeck and Public Works Director Morrell request approval to hire Thomas Rummel for the position of Assistant Public Works Director beginning November 19th, 2025 at an annual base salary of $94,000. Do I have a motion to approve this hiring?
So move.
Second.
Second. And with that, a discussion from assembly members, but I think before I do that, I'll go back to our utility director, Member Morrell, talk about a little bit about the background that this gentleman brings to us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Rommel is a high-end custom home builder in Seattle. Prior to that, he built homes in Montana. He has over 20 years of construction experience. And he came up last month to do a tour of Petersburg, of all of our facilities, and was very impressive to the crew and the assembly alike. I feel very confident that he'll do a good job.
Thank you. There are no other questions? Would the clerk please call the, oh, I'm sorry, Member Mutchy.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I guess through the mayor, what will this person be doing?
Okay. Member Morrell, or Mr. Morrell, would you answer, please?
Yeah, the Assistant Public Works Director will be helping me in my daily duties, managing projects and the 6 departments within Public Works.
Thank you.
Would the clerk please call the roll?
Member Stanton Greger,
Yes.
Member Martin, Member Valentine,
Yes.
Member Schwartz,
Yes.
Member Mutchy,
Yes.
Mayor Lynn.
Yes. With that, passes to hire Public Works Director, Assistant Public Works Director, Thomas Rummel, and that passes 6-0. Next item on the agenda is Mountain View Manor Elderly Housing and Assisted Living Direct Hire. Manager Giesbrecht requests approval to hire Michelle Lopez, the current Elderly Housing Director for the position of Assistant Living and Elderly Housing Director beginning October 14th, 2025, at an annual base salary of $100,000. Do I have a motion to approve that hire?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. And with that discussion, is anybody want to, Member Valentine?
Thank you. Just for clarification, this is just an additional part to also being the elderly housing director. Am I right? Who am I asking here? This is an additional position added to the elderly housing director, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Just clarification on that. Thank you. Yep.
And I believe that, unfortunately, the manager's not here that can talk to us, but I believe there's also some savings on some other parts, and maybe the clerk might talk to that if you were part of it.
Yes, Michelle Lopez has been the elderly housing director and has a lot of experience over on the assisted living side from when she was the admin for Sheila Bell, when Sheila was the director. So bringing her experience with the state inspections and having all of the paperwork in order for that, and also communicating with the families, the residents, the nursing staff, and the RA supervisor. So she's very familiar with the workings of assisted living. We're really fortunate that she's willing and able to take this position.
Thank you. Other questions or comments from the assembly? With that, would the clerk please call roll to hire Michelle?
Member Schwartz,
Yes.
Mayor Lynn,
Yes.
Member Valentine,
Yes.
Member Martin, Member Stanton Gregor,
Yes.
Member Mutchy.
That passes also 6-0 to hire the Michelle Lopez as the Assisted Living and Elderly Housing Director. With that, I'll move on here. In the packet is the correspondence we received since October 2nd, 2025. Move down in assembly discussion items. First of all is assembly member comments. Does any assembly member have comments? Okay. Member Mutchy, I believe.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As we've heard tonight, there is growing concern from some members of the community about the broadband antennas that are being proposed to be put up on certain areas of Mitkoff Island. And so I just wanted to give the assembly a heads up that for that first meeting in November, I'll have it as a discussion item to possibly have a work session for November 13th to maybe figure out if we can have a community forum or discussion either with some of the folks from the Tidal Network, and so we can hear some of the concerns of the community. But I just wanted to give folks a heads up that I'll have a discussion item on that November 3rd meeting. Thank you.
Member Stan Gregor?
Nope.
No, I like it. Thank you.
All righty.
Mr. Mayor?
With that, go ahead.
I have one more.
Member
Can you lay out the schedule for filling the vacant assembly seat or somebody,
The-
please?
Go ahead, if the
Yes.
clerk would.
Yes, so at the November 3rd meeting, we will be, any letters of interest that we've received up to that point will be included in the packet. If we get any letters after I've published the packet, I will provide them to Mayor Lynn. And then the assembly will consider all of the letters for that open seat. And then the assembly will vote on who should fill that seat.
And we will also make appointments to the various.
That's right.
boards.
Appointments to the
Yeah.
boards, those open seats that were listed in the mayor's report also, we already have received several letters of interest for the Planning Commission and the Public Safety Advisory Board.
You should ask that question.
Member Valentine.
Is it a public vote? So we're like, hey, I have to choose this person and everybody knows?
Someone will make a motion to
Ah.
nominate a name and there will be a second and it is a public vote.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yay.
I can make a recommendation, but the assembly can override me as the way that I plan to handle it. Member Mutchy.
Just a follow-up, do we have any letters at this point?
Yes, I have 4.
Yep.
Just a clarifying point, on that November 3rd meeting also, will we be doing assembly appointments for like harbor board, et cetera?
That's what I was
Got
saying.
a whole kit and caboodle. Got it. Thank you.
All right. No, you're okay. All right. Any recognition from assembly members? Okay, understand Gregor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just briefly, I know a lot has been said about Mayor Jensen this evening and of a lot of the things he's done. One that I wanted to comment on specifically is I served as Mark's vice mayor for about give or take for about 5 years. And I think Mark did a good job of making it seem pretty easy, you know, keeping the train on the tracks, knowing when to recognize somebody, knowing to give maybe a little bit of leeway on the 5-minute thing because they got about 2 sentences left. It's not an easy skill, and I know that, speaking for myself, I learned a great deal about public facilitation from Mark. It is a skill, but also an art form, and he did, for those listening at home, just know, sitting here watching him do it, he did a very good job at it. Made it seem a lot easier than it was, so I just wanted to recognize that particular quality in the mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Member?
Well, I'll go a different direction. It says here in recognition of Mayor Jensen's dedicated years of service to the community. And I always respected his service to the community as on the assembly and as mayor. There's a lot of ways to serve the community, and I was probably 15 or 16 years old, and I was snapping longline gear on during one of the 24-hour halibut fisheries. And Mark's about 10 years older than me, and I looked over, he's probably 25, similar sized boat, and he was setting gear right past us. And by the time we got done snapping gear on, he was hauling. And for about 3 years in a row, I heard, I think Dennis was right outside of him there somewhere, but I'm gonna catch a lot of grief for this one. It was knowledge and skill combined with kind of a raw masculinity. I'll just put it that way. And they just trounced us year after year. I thought there's a better way to do this. So as a young teenager looking at another commercial fisherman, I thought, wow, there's a better way that we can go. And then as I got older and he jumped in to the borough, you know, we change as we get older and hopefully evolve a little bit. And it was inspirational. So I'll say that in my teenage years and in my 50s. So.
All righty, thank you. Yeah, anybody else have any more recognitions? If not, I probably have been lobbying with Mark for at least 8 years and all over. And it's been very interesting because we go to a meeting, we have an agenda that the assembly had approved, and all of a sudden, out of the blue would come, well, we have money to do this project. And all of a sudden, we're both looking at one another, wait a minute, did we even talk about that? And many times we hadn't. And so you're calling back, trying to get some kind of a read. Are we in, are we out, or where are we at? And I will give Mark a lot of credit because we were able to move forward in a lot of things to do. So with that, if there isn't anything else, I would move to adjourn this meeting. Is
So
there-
moved.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Nice work, bud.